There you go, everybody. So this has been my mission for this weekend, trying to get the paint off this. Just about finished. I've just got this to go. I sort of stripped a lot of the worst of it off with paint stripper, but I left it a bit long and it sort of went all real gluey. And then I tried to put a bit more paint stripper on it. I just sort of do one side again, and it sort of was real tough to move after that. So been going over it with the wire wheel and the grinder, and I got it pretty much cleaned up. Some of these spots were wet. I'm going to go back over a little bit again now that I got all the paint off and just tidy them up a little bit more. I weld these two holes up that I forgot. And the other thing I've been doing is last night I started stripping the paint off this too. Yesterday, but it was raining, so I sneaked the front of the car out into the weather and just put that blue tarp over the bonnet and over the front guards and stuff just to get the worst of the weather off. Because I sort of did this at the back. So yeah, I want to try and get this stripped down too. And it needs a lot of straightening out. It's quite sort of twisted in through here and bits and pieces. This side seems to be the more sort of twisted, damaged. This side seems to be more out of shape. So once I get it cleaned up, we'll have a decent play at it. And these have been added on at some stage. I guess they've done it for cooling at some point. I don't know whether it was done at the variety bash and the paint just blunts a quick coat of paint over the bumpers or what they did, but so anyway, yeah, I need to try and do something with this and straighten it out and try and make it a little bit more decent, and then we'll put a coat of paint over top of it. Yeah, so I bought myself earlier on, I don't even know how, I might be on top of the car, bought myself a decent size like club hammer, like a wee small, like a mini sledgehammer, I suppose you want to call it, blockbuster, whatever you want to call it. And I bought myself a big wide, I'll show you anyway, big wide like chisel type sort of thing. So I bought this, whatever that is, 3.9 pound or 1.8 kilos. So I bought that to help me sort of straighten that bumper out a little bit. And where's that other bloody thing going? Oh, there it is. With my keys. And I bought this to try and see if I can get into some of these areas to try to help straighten it out. When I come in behind the likes of here, and just see if I can use it to help sort of straighten out some of these pieces. Sort of push them in the right direction without. So I bought that as well. Hopefully that might come in handy. So yeah, that's what I'm sort of doing today. Trying to get these cleaned up, so at least then I can get that. Once I get the rest of the paint off the inside of that boot lid, I'll give it another sandblast, just because there's still a lot of surf, sort of rusty sort of bits that aren't terribly good. Like it's got a lot of the, I suppose you'd almost call it like that sort of wiry rust that's sort of tracking it around where it's been scratched and stuff. So I want to give this a bloody good go over and try and clean it up the best I can. And then around all these holes and stuff, like it's trying to get this all cleaned up and neutralised. So yeah, I think the boot lid will come up pretty good. It's cleaning up pretty well, so I think it'll clean up pretty tidily. You know, with a little bit of filler in here just to hide some of these spots, and smear a bit in here just to try and smooth all that out, hide it's been patched, and same in here, you know, just little bits and pieces. I'm not going to get super fussy, but I'll just clean up the pieces where I've repaired and welded, and I don't even know if I'll worry about doing it here. I might just put a little smear over that just to try and hide the Ripley stuff. No, I'm not going to get stupid fussy. I'll just hide the worst of where I've repaired and maybe the odd dent or something. I'm not going to get too panicky. I'll just make it clean and tidy. Otherwise I'm going to run out of time to try and get this car sorted the best I can, so we can get over to the States. Because I like, as much as I'd like to be over there now, I don't want to try and go there in the middle of winter, just where it is. As Arco would probably understand, like it'd be a bit shit of a shit to try and move in that sort of temperature and weather and ice and snow and all the rest of it. If I can get over there at the sort of just right at the end of winter, sort of getting into spring, at least then it's like I'm about to move, so whenever that is going to be, like sort of, it's not really February, but sort of March, April, I suppose, heading into May next year. Hopefully I should be well and truly have this car beaten by then. If I can get it painted in the next, well, it's only the end of August, August now, so I've got all September, October, November, December. If I can get this painted before, if I can get this painted before sort of November, and get it starting to head into back towards putting it together, it's only really the running gear I've got to try and sort out. Everything else I should better make do with what's there. It's only really the motor and the trans I've got to try and sort out in this bloody thing. I get the motor back together and get a few bits and pieces I need, and then try and get the right trans, or I'm going to have to get the right trans for it, but it's something we can work towards. But at least if I get this body together and painted, we'll be right. Alrighty, cheers.